Ladies and gentlemen, this episode is brought to you by EditorX. We're going to be talking about how powerful of a platform EditorX is. We're going to be recreating some amazing design work in the platform and really how you can do it too. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe, and enjoy the video. What is going on, everybody? Today we're going to be talking about how I've been using EditorX to really step up my game, bringing my designs from Adobe XD to real-life living creations on the interwebs. So with that said, we're going to actually be working on bringing an example of one of my favorite designers, Elijah Vaughn's work to life using EditorX. So let's get into it. We have the desktop version, we have the tablet version, and we also have the mobile version as well. We can do the responsiveness just in here as well, just pulling in these things to resize. First off, we're gonna open up EditorX. I've taken all of my photos, I've uploaded them. To get your assets in EditorX is simple. You just upload your media and you upload it from your computer, Dropbox, wherever. Everything is already in there, so we're good to go. I have my menu assets, I have my buttons, I have my cart, my images, things of that nature, so we can get into designing. And honestly, this really doesn't take that long. I'm gonna just start adding some things. We have our layers panel over here to the left. When I decide to actually click something, we have our settings associated with whatever we have selected at the moment. So if I decide to drag in, for example, an image, it is all the settings related to that particular asset. I'm gonna go ahead and start with our menu here. So I'm gonna go to our plus, I'm gonna go into our menus, search, and all I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna pull this design right into our section here, right align it, and align it to the top. I'm gonna take my section here, I'm gonna pull this right about the length of my menu here. I'm gonna go ahead and add an element. I want to add 2 containers, so I'm just gonna pop one in. I'm gonna right click. I'm also gonna do a quick add another container. And the reason why I'm doing containers is because things need to go inside containers to be able to relate to one another when it comes to responsiveness. Sections, containers, and then your assets. That's simple formula. And that's partially why I like EditorX. It's very, very similar to how I would really just put things together in Adobe XD, to be honest. But what I'm gonna go ahead and do is I'm gonna just go into back to my media. I'm gonna pull in my Nintendo menu. I'm just gonna scale it up to 100. And I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna grab a menu too. Menu insert. I'm gonna grab the plain clear one. I'm gonna drop it in here. And I'm just gonna expand. Now you're probably wondering, hey Brandon, why did it already go to game, switch, support, and cart? That's a great question. When it comes to adding links, all you have to do is when you drag in a menu item, all you have to go do is press manage menu, and essentially you can either use your pages and have all of your pages, or I only have one page, so we kind of circumnavigated this and we just added links. I can go ahead and do web address, I can paste whatever I have here. I'm just gonna go ahead and take Elijah's piece, just for example, paste in there, and done. And we have a new link in here. This would be, I'm just gonna type in dribble. Let's go to our layers panel. We have one section that hosts our container for our logo and a container for our menu. From this, all I'm gonna do, you probably see some of our borders here. We're gonna go ahead and take that away really quick. So we're gonna go to our borders, turn that baby down. Same thing with our other border here. Boom, to 0. And there we go. I'm actually gonna change this games from that purple. I know it's not the same red as Nintendo, but we're gonna keep it there. I'm gonna make a new section. I'm gonna go to our compositions. Just grab something that's very similar to what I'm trying to make, and I'm gonna just drop it right here. And I'm just gonna adjust the grid. I want this to be a little bit more. I can adjust the grid and make sure that these are equivalent. So we have 1.2, 1.2. Change my image here. We're gonna make it our little Nintendo bunch. I'm just gonna rescale it here, because I do not want it to be stretched. I want it to be, excuse me, exact size. I'm gonna go to my border here, and I'm going to increase this by about 36. I'm gonna go ahead and edit this text, Nintendo. I can move this entire stack together. I need to extend the entire width of the stack. So I'm gonna go ahead and do 70, so I can fit everything in here. Now this button here is cool and all, but I actually already have a button asset, so I'm gonna go ahead and bring that in. I'm gonna go to my plus, I'm gonna go to my media, and I'm gonna grab my buy button right here, and I'm just gonna drag this to the side of my stack here. I'm gonna delete my button, take this, I'm gonna pull this in, and you see how this line automatically is docking things for you. I'm just gonna scale it up, and we're just gonna add one more section. I'm gonna do a layouter. I'm gonna do the 4x1. Now there's already an item in here. If we take a look at this, there's a section, there's a layouter, and an item. It does all of this structure for you with a click of a button. All I'm gonna do is I'm just going to add more of my media in here. This add to page. It just literally popped in here randomly. I just Control X'd it, and I'm just gonna paste it into this item here. I can highlight more than one element by holding Control Shift, and I'm just gonna turn the backgrounds of those all off. I'm going to go ahead and add some of these bits. I'm just gonna copy, paste, 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 change image. We're gonna go ahead and do Fortnite, expand, boom. I'm gonna make this 100%. Same thing here, change image. Go ahead, Pokemon, you know what I'm saying? I'm just double checking everything center. We have this done. Let's go ahead and start messing around with the actual tablet and mobile version. This is the actual easy part. So I'm gonna scale this out just a little bit like this. I'm gonna pull it over to the right using our alignment tools. Our grid is still horizontal. All we need to do is adjust grid, make it vertical. Boom, one click. We're gonna take this entire section, this entire stack actually, and we're going to make the width 100%, or rather, let's do 80. I do want to increase the size of this. Undo the scaling, 72 pixels. We can make it a little bit bigger. We're gonna go ahead and do 96. Boom. We still have our paragraph looking fine, and we have our buy now looking even better. Now we can scale this photo. Let's go here and pull it down. And we can also adjust just moving our grids here. So minimum height, this is where, again, as you can see, it's a restraint. But easy does it, we can just 1000, boom, easy day. And now we can move some of this stuff manually. So I just gave myself some more space, and I'm going to move everything manually. Now this portion, again, this is really simple. Change layout, we're gonna do vertical, boom, just like that. Now we have everything vertical, easy day. That's tablet. There we go. Next, all we gotta do, same thing, mobile, boom. So we're gonna go ahead and we are going to adjust some of this. Let's scale it up here. Take this stack. We're gonna pull this up into the first part of our section, and we're gonna pull this down. We're gonna increase the text here. We're gonna turn off that scaling. We're gonna go to 72, see what that looks like. That is large, so we're not gonna do that. There we go, we'll do 48. Button's a little small, so we're gonna increase that. Pull this down just a smidge. I'm going to actually, because there's too much space at the bottom, so I'm gonna pull all that up. And there we have it, guys. Like, honestly, that is our site. I'm gonna show you guys how to actually do a mobile menu. So I'm gonna go to my add elements. We're gonna go to menu and search. And I'm gonna go to mobile or hamburger menus, just like this. And I want this one. This one looks pretty cool. So I'm gonna pop this in, just like that. And this more, what I can do is I'm gonna go to my layers, and I'm actually going to click these three dots right here, or I could right click it, and I could essentially just hide it. If I click this, let's open menu, there we go. How the menus work in EditorX is all you have to do is just tell EditorX, hey, these are my pages. You can make your pages here, or once you make one set of menus, it applies to everything from menus that you drag in, hamburger menus, anything. That's what I love about this. It's super easy. Now the cool thing that we can start doing is adding some animation, and this part is actually really cool. I can select this entire stack and hit this button here, animation, and I have all of these animations at my disposal. Now it's not just presets, I can actually customize these. So I'm going to select reveal, I can go to customize, and I'm going to do a 1.5 second duration animation. I can do it from the left, the bottom, the center, the right, the top. I can do any of these. I'm gonna do the same thing for our image here. It's a bounce, float in. We're gonna do float in. And for these babies down here, select all of these, click animate, and I'm gonna actually do a bounce in. We're gonna do this a little bit longer. We'll do this 2 seconds, and we'll maybe do a 0.2 delay. Animate only once. Let's check this out, what this looks like. There we go. I did the bare minimum. You can spend a little bit, 10 more minutes tweaking to make sure when you pull, contrast the website, that everything aligns nicely, that even on the smallest phone and on the largest screen, that you can make sure that your site looks beautiful, and it really doesn't take that much more work. EditorX is an extremely powerful tool, and I've just shown you guys in just a few minutes here really what you can put together. So with that being said, let's actually take a look at somewhat of the finished design here. We're actually gonna show you how to incorporate things like hovers as well. So let's talk about that. This is actually a new feature that EditorX just put together, and I'm gonna show you guys how to kind of do this. So I'm gonna select an item here, and I'm gonna go ahead over to my settings. We have the interaction, and all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna add hover interactions. Again, we have very powerful animations. We don't have to, like if you're used to After Effects, things like, very much like XD, you just pick your ease in, ease out, what is the timing, and it does this for you. So we're just gonna hit float. I can see what that kind of looks like. It kind of short does it. This is what it actually looks like. We're gonna go ahead and preview. There we go. Nice little float. I want to do ease in and ease out. There we go. It's a little bit more smooth. Everything is working beautifully. It's scalable. We have our tablet. It's looking fine. And we have our mobile as well. And it's looking Gucci. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, check out EditorX today. Thank you for joining me for this very quick video in what we've created in EditorX. Don't forget to like and subscribe and check out EditorX today. Your boy, Brandon Groce, your favorite designer and hype beast, out. See you on the next one.